In the echoes of roaring engines and the shadowed crannies of motorcycle brotherhood, a story surfaces. One that cuts across the chrome and leather exterior of Hell's Angels. Get ready for a journey through the unexpected and mysterious tale behind the tragic end of Gerry Tobin. Let's uncover the turns and twists of Gerry's final ride, discovering the hidden layers under the surface of an apparently ordinary existence. Gerry Tobin, a background. Gerry Tobin, or Gentleman Gerry, was a well-known figure within the Hells Angels community. His love for motorcycles led him to join the group, where he found connection and purpose. From his humble beginnings in Macclesfield to his life in Canada and London, Tobin's journey was marked by his unwavering passion for the open road. Employed as a mechanic at a Harley-Davidson dealership in Mottingham, South London, he lived close to his 25-year-old fiancée, Becky Smith. Originally from Macclesfield, Tobin moved to Canada during his childhood. Before returning to England in the 1990s and joining the Hells Angels, Gerry Tobin, who once resided in Calgary, engaged in Bible studies and carried aspirations of becoming a missionary. Described by Marcus Berriman, president of the London chapter, as a rare breed of man with the heart of a lion and a soul filled with compassion and selflessness, Tobin was also affectionately termed a gentle angel by his fiancée Becky, the fateful day of event and incident. Bulldog Bash originated as a modest gathering directed by the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, evolving into one of Europe's exclusive motorcycle festivals since its beginning in 1987. Held at the Shakespeare County Raceway in Long Marston, Warwickshire, the event has surpassed its origins, drawing approximately 50,000 attendees in 2007. Taking place annually in mid-August, Bulldog Bash remains true to its roots, featuring a lineup of attractions tailored to motorcycle enthusiasts such as live rock performances, beer gardens, motorcycle races, drag racing, and exhibitions of stunt riding prowess. After attending the August 12, 2007 event, Tobin, alongside numerous other Hells Angels and motorcycle enthusiasts, embarked on their journey home via the M40 motorway around 2 p.m. Making a pit stop at a petrol station in Stratford to refuel his Harley-Davidson FX STB night train, Tobin's actions seemed routine, unaware of the upcoming tragedy. Casually crossing the station premises, he glanced at the CCTV camera with a smile before resuming his journey. Taking the A46 route to merge onto the southbound lanes of the M40, Tobin led a trio of bikers, with prospective Hells Angels member Powell Leck following behind. As Tobin wore full Hells Angels patches, he became a target for the perpetrators who had identified him. While Powell was riding, he observed a green car rapidly approaching from behind in his rearview mirror. Reacting swiftly, he drove to the middle lane to allow it to overtake. As the convoy reached Junction 12 for Leamington Spa, the Green Rover 620 matched Tobin's speed, indicating a potential threat. Powell was a first-hand witness to the harrowing scene as guns appeared from the car's passenger windows, aimed directly at Tobin. In a matter of seconds, what had been a peaceful convoy turned into a deadly confrontation on the road. In a tragic twist of fate, the attackers unleashed a storm of gunfire at Tobin, shattering the calm of the moment. Initially, Tobin appeared composed on his motorcycle, but the illusion was shattered when Powell saw him lose control of the handlebars, his lifeless body tumbling from the bike and tragically ending up beneath Powell's own wheels. Tobin's life was abruptly snuffed out, leaving everyone stunned and unable to comprehend the sudden and senseless violence that had unfolded. The aftermath. To the unaware passers-by, it seemed like just another day on the motorway, with the usual traffic jams causing delays. Little did they know, the cause of that day's congestion was anything but ordinary. Initially, law enforcement considered the possibility of a routine road accident contributing to the traffic. However, upon reaching the scene, police were confronted with a grim reality. The lifeless body of a biker sprawled on the road. It became apparent that this was not a tragic accident, but a calculated act of assassination. As per police findings, the initial bullet smashed through Tobin's mudguard, narrowly missing the rear wheel's tread. However, the following shots found their mark with devastating precision. One of these bullets penetrated the base of Tobin's helmet, piercing his skull and bringing his life to a sudden and tragic end. Tobin came to a halt, landing face down on the tarmac near the central reservation, while his motorcycle continued for 200 meters before turning off onto the grass verge on the left side of the road. The first person to witness the aftermath and stop was a woman driving a BMW. She quickly exited her vehicle, armed with a first aid box, but her efforts proved useless as she discovered no pulse upon reaching Tobin's side. Investigation and arrests. Detective Superintendent Ken Lawrence took responsibility for leading the investigation into what was clearly a murder. However, the task of securing the crime scene presented a significant challenge, given that it spanned 4 lanes and stretched for a mile. To contain the area, the entire road was sealed off from both directions, resulting in 400 vehicles being trapped within the blockade. To alleviate the discomfort of those stranded, the Red Cross provided blankets and refreshments to the occupants of the vehicles. Lawrence was acutely aware of the barriers he would face in investigating this case, particularly due to the hardcore code of silence within the Hells Angels community. Members of the group typically preferred to resolve internal matters confidentially and independently, avoiding involvement with law enforcement whenever possible. This posed a tough barrier to the investigation from its outset. The Hells Angels' strict code of silence extended to the ritual of removing the patches from their fallen comrades, as was the case with Tobin. Consequently, police had to rely on identifying him through his wallet. Initially, tracing the owner of the green vehicle used in the shooting proved challenging. However, authorities soon stumbled upon a burned-out green Rover in a back street in Coventry, linking it to a man named Sean Creighton. Creighton's decision to utilize his own car for the assassination was just one of several missteps. His accomplices, captured on CCTV footage wearing noticeable winter clothing in what appeared to be a failed attempt at disguise, further aroused suspicion. Their tattoos, silent looks, and lack of expression only heightened law enforcement's inspection, casting them as prime suspects in the investigation. Sean Creighton, initially represented as a mere sergeant-at-arms within the Outlaws, was unmasked as the president of the small South Warwickshire chapter of the rival biker gang. Contrary to his rank, he was the one who pulled the trigger in Tobin's murder. Police suspected the killing stemmed from the bitter rivalry between the outlaw motorcycle clubs, possibly over previous conflicts or territory disputes. The assassination plot had been brewing for months, with Creighton, Vice President Dane Garside, and Sergeant-at-Arms Simon Turner planning it at a Christmas party. Accompanied by members Carl Garside, Ion Cameron, Dean Taylor, and Malcolm Bull, they meticulously planned the hit, each with a specific role, indicating their intent and determination. Creighton carried out practice on a dummy at his home nearby. 3 days before the murder, the Outlaws began monitoring the movement of Hells Angels toward Bulldog Bash, ultimately seeking a target, and they had set their gaze on one, Gerry Tobin. On the day of the murder, Dane Garside took the role of driver, with Sean Creighton and Simon Turner taking aim and firing. Following closely behind was a white Range Rover carrying Carl Garside, Dean Taylor, and Ion Cameron, ready to execute Plan B if the initial attempt failed. Meanwhile, Malcolm Bull kept watch in a Renault Laguna, ensuring the operation ran smoothly. Court trial. At the Birmingham Crown Court trial, Creighton opted to plead guilty to the murder, recognizing the overwhelming evidence against him and likely aiming to maintain his club's existence. However, the remaining members maintained their innocence throughout the 9-week trial until they were ultimately convicted of murder and associated firearm offenses. During the sentencing hearing, all 7 defendants stood in the dock, their hands tied in handcuffs as they awaited their fates. Creighton received a sentence of 28 years and 6 months behind bars, while Turner and Taylor were handed 30-year sentences. Bull and Cameron were sentenced to 25 years, Dane Garside to 27 years, and Carl Garside to 26 years. Final words. Tobin's tragic death serves as a testament that biker culture can be complex. Even if you are innocent and gentle like Tobin, this underworld may make you their next target without you having realized it.